friends. Welcome to Race to Rise podcast, a place where we discuss bite sized wisdom nuggets with easy to follow practices to live a better life. I am your host, Mital Patel, a parenting junkie, Ayurveda enthusiast, and an advocate of conscious living. Imagine for a moment how wonderful would it be to know that, to know and to pass on to our children that how incredibly unique they are born to be, how unlike any other person alive, and to celebrate their uniqueness by loving themselves without comparison. And imagine how wonderful it would be today to have their uniqueness celebrated and encouraged by their family and friends, by you, the parents, right? So this is the possibility that I want to talk about today. In the previous episode, I talked about how, how being present and showing up can help us understand our children better, can help us connect with their needs better, can help us, know their likes and dislikes, can help us understand and, of course, embrace how unique they are. And today I want to share how can we make this possible? How can we speed up the process, right? And how can we start celebrating their uniqueness today? And how can we encourage our kids to celebrate their uniqueness by loving themselves without any comparison? And so I want to share this, my favorite, another tool that I've been sharing on my socials for the last 2 weeks now. And I want to share it with you in detail, in depth. And I want to take you on a journey of what I'm talking about. So I hope you're ready. Are you ready? Drum roll. I am talking about the human design systems. Yes, I want to share this possibility of how can you connect with your children on a deeper level without them pushing you away, without how cool would it be that they allow you into their space, right? Because it's hard to tap into somebody else's space when they're not ready. And so same thing goes for our children, whether your child is an infant right now or 5-year-old or a 15-year-old. And the older they get, it's harder to connect with them because now they have, their own space, they have their own energy, they have their own views, their own values. Of course, it kind of gets a little complicated because now they're into their, towards adulting. And so they're more influenced by their peers, their surroundings, their devices, the books they're reading, the people they're hanging out with. And so it gets a little harder for us parents to get into their space. But imagine that they allow you to be in their space, right? It's like a dream come true. Us parents, we all want to be, feel involved with our kids who are, in their preteen stage or their teen stage because it's harder. And I get it. I have a 12-year-old and I know that it's harder than what it used to be because now he has his own priorities. He has his own things that he wants to work on. And so today I'm going to share this tool, right? The human design. Without taking a further ado, let's take a dive deep. So you must be wondering, what is this human design? And I want to take you on a little journey. So I actually got into this rabbit hole of human design because I am fascinated by the tools that help me discover my true self, that help me with self-discovery, that helps me connect with myself better, and that helps me connect with my, people around me better. It helps me live my, to the highest potential. And so I stumbled upon human design, I believe it was in 2020. And I started, of course, I had to dive deep in. So I invested in a coach, and just because I wanted to know about myself, and I didn't want to just enroll myself in Google University before without knowing itself, because I knew better not to just surf around and just, rather just go to an expert. So I got in, I did a coaching with someone who was serving human design. I did find it valuable, but then I was more curious. I needed to learn more. I wanted to know more. And so then I stumbled upon this account called My Human Design with Jenna Zoe. And it was an incredible, that's when I learned like a lot about human design. And so my journey has started since 2021. I have been practicing, bits and pieces about human design since 2021. So it's about, after a year and a half, I'm sharing with everyone because I really love to share. I don't like to share if I haven't tried and tested myself. And so know that whenever I share something, it's because I've tried and tested and it has, worked, and I've had my own reflections that why it works and why it hasn't worked. And I only share after practicing myself. And so human design is one of that tool that I got into and I've been practicing for, a good year and a half, and it has been working. It has been working great. It helped me, at first I tried understanding myself through a human design lens, and then I worked into understanding my kids, my husband, and I just can't tell you how wonderful this tool is. And so, what is human design? Jenna Zoe says that human design is the roadmap on how to live your life. So, she says that, our soul came into this world with a plan to live a spectacular life. And human design is that roadmap. It helps you live your spectacular life that you're meant to live. So I really, really resonated with that definition and I started diving deep. And you know how this is when I learned that how world just floods us with messages about how we should be living our life in order to survive or thrive in this world, right? But what I learned that human design teaches us that the same advice is not correct for everybody. It's same as what works for me might not work for you and what works for you might not work for me. That's true. But what if we all learn specifics about what works for us? It would speed up our process, right? And I truly believe in refining and, implementing the systems that works better, efficiently, productively, and effectively without wasting a moment. Because I truly, truly do not want to waste this life and, a moment of this life because it's incredible. And I want to maximize the moments that God has gifted me, the universe has, given me. So I really believe that it's about time that we all just pave our own path by being our truest, our happiest, most successful self, right? And which is truly and totally unique to us. And that's what human design does. Human design helps us recognize our innate gifts and traits so that we can be who we truly came here to be. And same for our kids, right? So that our kids can become and can be truly who they are. And that's why the human design. I truly believe that human design is the most effortless road to living our dream life because it connects us, it truly reminds us who we are meant to be. And it connects us with our uniqueness because, of course, we're all born with it. But the society and the conditioning and our surrounding it has conditioned us to move away from our traits and our uniqueness. And that's why, we all know, as a child, we're so, we live our true self. But as we progress in life, we forget what our unique strengths are and what our weaknesses and what are we good at and what do we need to work with, etc., etc. And we just get entangled with what society tells us that what we should be doing, what we have to be doing, and what which is not true to who we are and which doesn't speak to our soul. And we still end up, following that rut, and we still start following that huddle and, go with the flow, which is not meant for us. So why not find the flow that's meant for us and that's meant for our children? So the first thing to start is finding our energy type. And, so we really need to learn about what is our energy type. So I am not an expert on helping you find what your energy type is, but I can share what exactly, the basic types are and, what are the traits. So you might want to go, take the website that I truly, truly encourage diving deep into. It's called myhumandesign.com. I will leave this info in the show notes as well. So just go on myhumandesign.com and find out what your energy type is. Find out what's your chart. Find out what's your trait by getting your free human design chart. And so, of course, I can't help you find what your design type is. I can definitely share the basics of human design. So you might just need to go on that myhumandesign.com and find out what your type and what your chart is. And then once you find out, then come back here where I'm going to share the basics, the types of the human design, the aura types. So let's dive in. So in human design, there are 4 aura types, and each type has a specific way of operating energetically, or, it has a unique way of dancing with the world and what it bumps into along its journey. So it's all about the energy. We all operate from the energy, the specific energy that we are born with. And it's just as we use verbal and nonverbal communication to interact with those around us. This is now we're going to, interact with after knowing our aura type and, our energy, because it's consistently and constantly communicating with our surroundings as well, right? Our energy is transmitting and receiving messages through frequency at all times. Now, this is science. And I truly believe that human design is a mixture of science and an art. And so the 4 basic aura types are, number 1 is generators, number 2 is projectors, number 3 is manifestors, and number 4 is reflectors. And then there is a 5th one, which is manifesting generators, which is like a combination of generators and manifestors. And so while there's so much beneath the surface level of these energy types, and there are like so many layers of nuances to each person's design, one of the most valuable pieces of information is to know our energy type and our child's energy type, because, we can all these different energy types has different way of interacting with the world, and they might have completely different way of operating. So find out what your energy type is, find out what your child's energy type is, and then follow along on my socials where I'm sharing more about each types and what are their innate gifts are. I truly believe that a huge gift that human design offers is the ability for us to become more aware of how to respectfully interact with one another. And of course, what is the main thing in our parent-child relationship is the respect. We have lost, and I truly believe that we've lost that respect, and us parents are so conditioned to just, rule over and to demand our kids. Our language has become so demanding that we have lost the respect. And so I believe that when you learn about your kid's human design type, you will be able to, effectively communicate, effectively connect with your child. And it will speed up the process to learn more about your child. And, after all, you will be able to facilitate the growth environment to your children. And so I have personally experienced this in my life with my kids. And I truly believe that everyone really need to, try. And I'm not like, I really want to throw this disclaimer that I am not trying to label our children. And so this is not to put your child or put you in a box and label yourself. This is merely about identifying. I truly believe that there is this subtle line or difference between identifying and labeling it. So with this whole, new learning tool and new experiences, I want you to not label your child, rather identify their gifts with the help of, this whole the uniqueness of human design charting. So stay tuned and learn more about on my socials about each unique types and the energy types. I truly believe this is going to be a game changer. And if you love me to share more about human design in parenting, then please let me know. Just, share it on just DM me, message me, email me at risewithmittal@gmail.com, or, leave a review on this podcast, on this episode. It truly means a world to me. And this will just help me to share more if you're interested or not interested. That's it for this week's episode of Race to Rise. Be sure to sign up to our email list at risewithmittal.com and join us again next time for more wisdom about life, kids, and everything in between. I am Mittal Patel, wishing you happy raising and rising.